11 hours. That is how long one man was locked in a small room at Miami airport, with no phone, no lawyer, and no idea if he was ever walking out. He was not a criminal. He was not a spy. He was a football referee. And just 6 hours earlier, he had been the proudest man in the world. His name is Omar Artan, and he was about to make history, the first Somali referee to ever step onto a World Cup pitch. He had the visa. He had the FIFA credentials. He had a diplomatic passport from his own government. He even brought photos of his career, just in case anyone needed proof of who he was. Then 2 border officers pulled him aside. Additional inspection, they called it. What happened next sounds more like an interrogation scene from a spy movie than anything that should happen to a sports referee. They sat him down in a closed room. No clock he could see. No real sense of time. Just question after question after question. Why are you really coming to America? What do you know about Somali politics? Have you ever had contact with Al-Shabaab? Al-Shabaab. The same word linked to terrorism. Being asked point blank to a man whose only weapon in life was a yellow card. 1 hour passed, then 3, then 6, then 11. He showed them his career, his tournaments, his FIFA badge. Proof that his entire life was built around something as simple and as beautiful as football. It changed nothing. Eventually, he was moved into a holding cell. Hours later, he was walked straight to a departure gate and put on a flight back to Istanbul. No World Cup, no match, no explanation he could fully understand. Just one official phrase to describe the end of his lifelong dream. Inadmissible due to vetting concerns. Stop and think about that. A man trains his whole life. FIFA picks him out of thousands of referees on earth as one of just 52 for the biggest tournament in the world. And in 11 hours, all of it disappears based on concerns the public still has not been allowed to see. So what really happened in that room? Why was a record-breaking referee suddenly treated like a national security threat? Stay with me, because what happens next involves a president, a travel ban, and a twist almost nobody saw coming. Let's rewind. Omar Artan was not some random pick. He was Africa's reigning referee of the year, fresh off a near-flawless tournament at the Africa Cup of Nations. FIFA does not hand World Cup whistles to just anyone. Officials go through years of training and testing before they get close to a World Cup pitch. FIFA had reportedly spent 3 years vetting this exact group of referees. Artan passed every check, visa, credentials, travel approved. Every World Cup referee was required to attend a mandatory training seminar in Miami, or be disqualified. So Artan flew in to do exactly what FIFA told him to do. But there was one thing no amount of training could prepare him for: the politics waiting at the border. Somalia currently sits under a strict United States travel ban, and that single fact, the country on his passport, may have mattered more than every certificate in his suitcase. Days after the deportation, a senior White House official overseeing the World Cup told the press that Artan had been in contact with, in his words, some very bad people, and pointed to classified information that could not yet be shared publicly. Customs and Border Protection released a short statement too, citing what they called derogatory information and a possible association with suspected members of a terror organization. But here is the part that should make anyone pause. No evidence has been made public. Artan himself denies any wrongdoing. He has said he is simply a referee chasing the biggest dream of his life, and that he believes the real issue was never about him personally, it was about the passport in his hand. And here is where it gets even more complicated. FIFA tried to step in, but FIFA openly admitted something important. They do not control immigration. A host country always has the final word on who is allowed through its own border. Even the most powerful organization in world football could not override that. Now, here is the twist nobody expected. Artan landed back in Mogadishu heartbroken, but instead of silence, he was met by a crowd of cheering fans, Somali flags waving everywhere, and even the country's prime minister welcoming him home like a national hero. And then, just days later, European football's governing body, UEFA, made a move that felt like a direct statement to the entire football world. They appointed Omar Artan to referee the Super Cup final in Europe, making him the first African official to ever take charge of a major UEFA match. FIFA still paid him in full for his World Cup commitment. But the thing money cannot buy back is the moment itself stepping onto a World Cup pitch for the first time in front of the whole planet. That moment was gone. So here is the real question. Did the United States government make a justified national security decision based on real intelligence? Or did politics just take away a once-in-a-lifetime moment from a man who did everything right on paper? Tell me honestly what you think in the comments below. And if you want more raw, honest football truths most channels won't talk about, make sure you're subscribed. See you in the next one.